Jealous words won't touch your feelings, so be patient and hold on. And when you feel just a little bit lonely, I won't let you down. Your guiding light, a voice in every sound, like a thin line of faith. Never leaves me alone, he's a part of my life that's just going on. He's telling me to hold on, don't let nobody hold you down. So get up and carry on, don't let nobody turn you around. Just believe.
En dan de Calendar Girls. 4 jaar terug vatte in Engeland een clubje vriendinnen het idee op om naakt te gaan poseren. En niet zomaar, het plan was om van die blootfoto's een kalender te maken. Nog niks aan de hand, tot je weet dat het niet om jonge, sexy kanjers gaat, maar om keurige ladies van middelbare leeftijd. En die poseren dan, net als in de Playboy, maar dan toch iets anders, namelijk in alledaagse huishoudelijke situaties. Het platteland van Midden-Engeland. We zijn in Yorkshire, om precies te zijn in het plaatsje Linton. Elk jaar kwam de Plattelandsvrouwenvereniging hier met een project voor een goed doel. Verkoop van tweedehands kleding, schapen scheren, cake bakken, zilverpapier inzamelen. Tot in dit huis een ludiek plan ontstond. Hier woont Angela Baker. Tot een paar jaar terug woonde ze hier samen met haar ernstig zieke echtgenoot John. Angela's vriendin Tricia besefte hoe nodig het was om Angela een beetje afleiding te bezorgen. Dat had alles te maken met John. Aan 9 andere leden van de Plattelandsvrouwenclub stelden ze voor: als wij nou eens een pin-up kalender maken, wij de theemutsen van Yorkshire bloot op de foto. Dat zou wat zijn. En aldus geschiedde. In Huize Baker hebben we vandaag de hele boel overhoop gehaald, want Angela en Tricia zitten hier straks in de keuken en hebben het koken dus voor 1 keer tot na 10:30 Nederlandse tijd moeten uitstellen. Vanwege die kalender. Nou, raad eens wat. Die kalender wordt een internationale bestseller. 1 miljoen pond wordt ermee opgehaald voor een goed doel. Dat geld was niet alleen meer afkomstig van die kalenderverkoop, maar ook van de filmrechten, want er kwam nou ook zelfs een speelfilm over het blote avontuur van die plattelandsdames uit het Engelse Yorkshire.
The ladies have decided to stop making cakes.
Look, we're planning a calendar for John. It was inspired by John and it's because of John.
And start making history.
What exactly is your project?
We're going to raise money for the hospital by posing for a nude calendar.
Naked.
Naked?
Not naked, nude.
Oh my God, it would look like pornography.
It'll take all of their courage.
Do you think John would have approved of this, Annie?
Right, let's do it.
En dit was het eindresultaat. Het ging in honderdduizenden exemplaren over de toonbank in Engeland, Amerika en waar al niet.
Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile through your...
Dat lumineuze idee met dat unieke eindresultaat, dat had een diepere achtergrond. John, echtgenoot van een van die vriendinnen, Angela Baker namelijk, die John was aan kanker overleden. En haar vriendinnen hadden methoden gezocht om haar op te vrolijken. En dat werd dus die blote kalender van middle-aged Engelse dames. Ze zijn op dit moment thuis bij Angela Baker in Yorkshire. Good evening, Angela. Good evening, Tricia.
Hello, Ivo.
Well, you're wearing sunflowers. Does it have a special meaning?
It does, yes. when John, my husband, was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in February 1998, we grew sunflowers and gave them to all our friends and family to grow a sunflower for John, because we'd worked out that when he was in remission, hopefully, the sunflower would have been in bloom. But John died in the July and he never saw the flowers bloom. But everywhere I went, everyone had a sunflower. So we wear it because it's a happy flower and it's our flower of hope.
And it's a symbol.
It is.
And we see it on all the calendars, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. How was John's fight against the illness?
He was only ill for 5 months after being a very, very healthy person, never had time off work. And he was diagnosed in February and he died in the July.
And how long were you and John together?
We were married for 32 years.
Wow. And did your children cope easily with that difficult situation?
They found it hard when their father died, but they've loved the calendar and loved everything that we've done, and are very proud of what we've done and all the money that we've raised for leukemia research.
Yeah, I can imagine. Tricia, did all the other women, did they consider John as a friend?
Yeah, obviously with 11 women, some of us were closer to John than others.
Yeah.
And I think the way it's worked out, the 6 women who've stayed together and done the movie together are the ones who were closest to John.
Yeah, I just told the audience here that the idea was to take Angela's mind off things during that difficult period. That was the basic idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I'd had the idea a long time ago. It was a joke, because the traditional Women's Institute calendar has photographs of village greens and sheep and hills. And I thought it would be very amusing to do an alternative in the nude and feature the crafts of WI, but it was a joke. We never would have done it if John hadn't become ill.
And did John approve of the plan?
He did, yes. He was going to come along and watch us do the photographs. We thought he was going to be the token man who could come along, because we thought it would be fun for him when he was having his treatment. But he was never well enough to do that. But he did know about the calendar. He did laugh when we were discussing what months we'd like to be and what craft we'd like to be doing. And he said that we were all talk, we'd never do it.
No.
But we did.
If we talk about laughs, didn't you all laugh yourselves silly while the photographs were being taken?
Well, yes, sort of. We had a glass or two of red wine, you know, to help us on our way. But it was a magic evening that night when we had 7 photographs taken that first night. And it was very funny, yes.
Didn't anyone object? Because after all, it's quite something to ask a group of very mature ladies to pose wearing nothing but a string of pearls and a smile.
Well, not very mature, just mature. 6 or 7 girls had been in on the idea for a long time when it had been a joke.
Yeah.
So I only needed another 3 or 4. And I think because of what had happened and how terrible it had been, and we were all shocked by the serious illness and then the death of a close friend, I think everybody wanted to do something positive, and it was the moment to do it. So there were a few girls who were scared, and it was brave for them, but I don't think quite a lot of us weren't scared.
No.
No. And Angela, did it help?
It did help, yes. I mean, I didn't know what I would do without John, you know, but I could have felt very sorry for myself and done nothing. But, you know, this did help because we were doing something positive, and we were raising money for other people in the same situation.
Tricia, was also the idea that you wanted to show that the over 55s have still got a lot to offer?
It just, to me, it's the humour in it. It was the humour. It's so against the image of WI, which is very traditional, very staid, twin sets and pearls and big brogue shoes and hats. And that's why, but I didn't intend to change the perception of the older woman, but we have.
And there was no discussion about the fact that the sensitive parts had to be discreetly covered.
Well, we did say no front bottoms.
No. People magazine called you the hottest girls group since the Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, yes. Well, we sold 88,000 calendars. In England, and that was double the Pirelli calendar of that year, and you know they're fantastic young models, but we doubled.
And you sold more calendars than Britney Spears, for example.
We did, yes, we did.
Something to be proud of, isn't it?
Well, I think so.
Where do the profits go to from this special calendar?
everything goes to Leukemia Research Fund. And hopefully in the very near future, I think we will have raised our first $1 million.
Wow. When did you start to realize that something you had started out as a joke was becoming a real sensation? Because suddenly you were, for example, on the BBC News. Was that the moment?
I think it was the day we launched the calendar, and when everyone just came to our little village, and we were on the 6 o'clock BBC national news. We thought then, well, you know, probably we're going to sell these calendars, and probably we've done something that we didn't really think we were going to do.
So you're stars now, aren't you?
Well, not
sort
really.
of.
Or are you still
The calendar's a
housewives?
star. Yeah.
Still doing the same things you always did?
Well, no, we do different things. Like we're on your show, and we've travelled quite a bit. But when we come back home, we do the same things. We don't have maids and servants and people to put our makeup on. We're just back to normal.
No Ferraris.
I think
unfortunately not.
No. I think we'll probably be a legend rather than stars.
And Angela, did you get many reactions to the calendar and to the idea behind the calendar, especially?
I did have thousands and thousands of letters, and you know, some people who'd lost loved ones, you know, through cancer. So there were. It was brilliant to receive all those letters.
Yeah, but reading all those letters, you had to go over your own sorrow again.
Yeah, well, some made us laugh and some made us cry. And when we opened them, we used to have a big box of tissues in the middle of the table. And you know, if we got a good letter, we say, "Oh, we've got to listen to this one." And so you know, it was good to do it. It was good.
And Tricia, now there's the movie. Did you like the movie?
Yes, I do. I really like it. It's about 70% fiction, 7% truth, and 30% fiction. I think it's been handled very sensitively. We've read scripts. They've been very caring of us, especially of Angela and her family, and they've been true to their word. We were right to trust them.
Yeah. But it's a feel-good calendar and a feel-good movie about a basically sad event, isn't it?
Yes,
it is, yes.
Yeah. What was, up till now, Angela, your most wonderful experience? The premiere in England, for example?
That was something that I'll never, ever forget, yes. It was just incredible to walk on that red carpet and go into the cinema. And we had a standing ovation at the end of the film for 6 minutes, so I'll never forget that.
And I've been talking to some very famous pin-ups of over 55, or are you still younger?
Oh no.
I'm 54. Nearly 55. I should be pleased to get to 55 because I get very confused to how old I am.
And I'm 58, 59 this time.
Okay. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. What are you going to cook tonight in the kitchen?
Oh, well, I don't know, actually. I've got to tidy up after all these camera crews have been making a mess of my house.
Okay, thank you very much for being with us.
It will probably be our famous fish and chips.
Okay, bye Angela, bye Tricia.
Bye-bye, Ivo.
And thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.